of Israel.
That's right.
Right? And that's who we descend from. When you read Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18, you are who your father is. Genesis chapter 5 and verse 3 as well. So you would be an Israelite, sister, according to the Bible. Not black, not African American, not Negro woman, not African woman, right? But the chosen vessel of the Lord. But we have to prove that according to the Bible. Give me Nahum chapter 3 and verse 10. Right? Nahum chapter 3 and verse 10. Give me Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 2.
It's the book of Nehemiah. It's the book of Nahum chapter 3 and verse 10.
Check this out, sister.
It says, yet she was carried away.
Right, so the Lord said our people were carried away. Read on.
She went into captivity.
We did what?
She went into captivity.
Right, so our people went into slavery. Right, the men and the women, also the children, went into slavery. Read on.
Her young children also were dashed in pieces.
Right, so when you check out the gruesome acts that took place in slavery, right, but hold on, sister, it say the so-called white man was dashing our children in pieces. Right, cutting off our men's head and hanging them up as souvenirs.
Remember the days of old.
Right, give me that. Give me that Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 8. You said you already know? Hold on. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 8.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 8.
Right, pay attention, sister.
This is when the Most High. Sister.
Give me verse 7. Give me verse 7, brother.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7.
Right?
Remember the days of old.
What the Bible say?
Remember the days of old.
So the Lord said, remember the days of old. So we have to remember what was done to our people in slavery. Now you can say, oh, I want to hear about it and make my stomach turn. But the Lord is telling you to remember these things. You have to remember these things and remember what these people done to your people.
It all the time.
Right, keep reading.
I study
Oh,
anthropology.
foolish people.
Oh, what?
Oh, foolish people.
So the Lord is calling our people foolish people. So you're foolish when you don't want to know about your history. Read on.
And unwise. Is not he thy father that hath brought thee? Have he not made thee and established thee? Remember the days of old.
What the Bible say?
Remember the days of old.
Right, so we have to remember the days of old. Stop cooning out. Right, separate from the white woman, man. Right? We're not out here to cater your feelings and talk sweet to you, and we're not out here to do that, man.
That's right, brother.
Separate from the so-called white man. Right? Remember what happened to your people, man.
Right.
Remember that they was feeding your children to alligators. Remember they was beating your grandfather back in, man.
Right.
Remember they put your ass on slave ships, man. Remember they put yokes of iron upon your people neck, man. Bring this out.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10.
Right?
Never trust thine enemy.
What the Lord say?
Never trust thy enemy.
You hand in hand with the
Never
white
trust
woman.
thy enemy.
Oh, she was hand in hand with the white woman.
That's
Kind
all.
of looking at her. I don't want to hear about slavery.
All.
I don't care about what happened to my people. I don't want to talk about that right now. But I want to love the so-called white woman.
All.
Read on.
Right? For like as iron rusted,
It say like it's iron rusted. Read on.
so is his wickedness.
So is his wickedness, man. Right? So the so-called white man's wickedness is sure to come out, man. Right? Now give me Sirach chapter 6 and verse 13. Sirach chapter 6 and verse 13.
Sirach chapter 6 and verse 13.
Right?
Separate thyself from thine enemy.
What the Lord say?
Separate thyself from thy enemy.
So you have to separate yourself from your enemies. Read on.
And take heed of thy friends.
And do what?
And take heed of thy friends.
So you hear that, brother? The Lord said you have to separate from your enemies. You have to take heed of your friends. Who are your enemies, brother? Give me Nehemiah chapter 5 and verse 9. Who are your enemies, brother? That's a question. Right? Am I your enemy? So who are your enemies? It's not a hard, deep question.
I would say evil spirits is my enemy. I don't think it's a certain person.
Right?
I say
Give me Nehemiah chapter 5 and verse 9. Let's see what the Lord says. Let's see that the Lord just say spirits are your enemy. Let's see what the Lord said out the Bible. Nehemiah chapter 5 verse 9. Bring this out.
This book of Nehemiah, chapter 5, verse 9. Also I said, it is not good that ye do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our God because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies?
Because of the what?
Because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies?
So the heathen are your enemies, brother. The so-called white man, the Chinese man, the Japanese, the Arabic, right? The African. You sound like you're getting cut every time I name nations, brother.
I got good. My best friend white.
You say your best friend is white?
Yes.
And that's why we brought out Sirach chapter 6 and verse 13. Right? Because you have to understand, brother, these people are your enemies. These people enslaved your forefathers. Who enslaved your forefathers? What people?
That doesn't matter. That was them.
Hold on. Give me Psalm chapter 77 and verse 5. Bring this out. Let's see what the Bible say, brother. You believe in God?
For sure.
Let's see what God said about the past. Right? Because the past affects the future, brother. Give me Psalm chapter 77 and verse 5.
It's the book of Psalms 77 and verse 5.
Right?
I have considered the days of old.
I have did what?
I have considered the days of old.
So you have to consider the days of old, brother. Read on.
For sure. It says, the years of ancient times.
The what?
The years of ancient times.
So you have to consider the days of old in the years of ancient times. And also, give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7, the classic. Right?
What's your religion?
We're going to get to that, brother. But get this. Deuteronomy 32 and 7.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Right? Remember the days of old.
The Lord say.
Remember the days of old.
So you have to remember the days of old. You said we got to forget about that. That's the past. That's what you said, brother. Right? So,
I'm charge my best friend with what his great-great-great-grandfather did.
we'll give me the book of Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 21. But you hold this and bring this out.
God and Jesus told us to forgive.
The years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will shew thee.
Ask thy what?
Ask thy father, and he will shew thee.
Ask thy father and he will shew thee. Read on.
Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Right? So now, give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 18 and verse 23. And you give me Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 21. And you give me Isaiah chapter 27 and verse 11. And brother, you make your point.
I was about to say, hey,
Hold on,
I was about to say, 18.
Listen, bro.
Your friend is left with the tab. If you and your friend go out to a bar and then he leave with the tab and he ran it up,
You know what my
who got to
friend
pay?
does?
Hold on,
He
who,
goes
hold
out
on,
and
King,
speaks for
King.
another
Who got to pay the tab?
All right, let me deal with it. Right? Because brother, I'm going to deal with you, brother. Let's go to the precepts. Let's see what the Bible says.
Let me show you who I am.
Brother, let's see what the Bible says. Hold on, Salakia. Brother, let's see what the Bible says.
To let you know how deep I'm in the game. You see what my name is?
Hold on, brother. Let
See
me
what my name is? See what my name is, right? So you know I got the knowledge, right?
No, brother. That doesn't mean you got the knowledge.
Okay.
But that's
Show that to the camera.
Hold on.
Show that to the camera.
No, don't show that to the
Yeah, show that to the camera.
camera.
My father's a historian.
Hold on, brother. Hold on,
All
brother.
I'm saying is,
Can I bring out the scriptures?
I'm just saying, don't crucify and do the guys that's new, that don't know what they for, that their grandfather, their great, that ain't got nothing to do with them. They can change. People change every day, bro.
Let's see what the Bible say.
The Bible's old, bro.
Hold on. So
That's old. That's been
Hold
rewrote.
on. All right, let's read the scriptures, man.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 18, verse 23. Yet, Lord, thou knowest all their counsel against me to slay me.
To what?
Against me to slay me.
What people slayed your forefathers? I'm just asking a simple question.
When you say what people, would you be like Europeans or colonizers?
No, what nation of people?
What nation?
What nation of people did this to your forefathers?
If you want to go deep into that, no. You want to go deep
Brother,
into that?
I'm asking a
we
simple
gave some
question.
of our people up. Don't play with me,
Brother,
bro.
I'm asking
We
a
gave
simple
some of our
question.
people up.
Okay,
bro.
what nation
we
of people?
enslaved ourselves.
Brother, what
bro.
nation of people beat this brother back in?
White people.
Okay, that's the point.
Yes.
They
But I'm not
slay
gonna.
us.
I'm not gonna get in. I'm not gonna do the
I'm
white
not
people
asking that. I'm
today
saying, I'm asking
for
the
that, bro.
question.
No, that ain't
Bro,
how
that's
that
a
works.
simple question. This
That's
nation of
then,
people
bro.
count
That's then, bro.
Your people, brother.
Yes.
Let me finish, brother.
Yes.
Can I finish?
Yes.
Okay, what nation of people did this?
White people.
The so-called white man. Read that again.
This book of Jeremiah, chapter 18, verse 23.
Right?
Yet, Lord, thou knowest all their counsel against me to slay me.
To do what?
Against me to slay me.
What does it mean to slay someone? When you slay someone, you kill them, right?
Yeah, to a certain extent. Yeah.
Brother, slay means kill.
Yeah, to
Right?
a certain extent.
No, that's what it means, brother.
You got
Somebody
people
look
that-
up the word slave.
You got people that were slaves that wasn't slaves like we were.
I said slave, brother. S-L-A-Y, slave.
Oh, I thought you said S-L-A.
Yeah, so slave means to murder. What happened to George Floyd?
We got murdered
By who?
by 4 white people.
There you go. Right,
But
so
you don't say that's
thou
all white
knowest
people
all
like
their
all white
counsel
people.
against me
But
to
he like
slay
all,
me.
so all white people
Hold
like
on,
that.
brother. I'm dealing with this precept. I'm dealing with this scripture.
I'm saying, bro, look.
I'm just dealing with this scripture, brother.
At the end of the day, it's
Brother,
individual.
I'm not finished. brother.
Everybody's different, bro.
Can I make a point?
Everybody's different, bro. I'm not going to charge my best friend for what they did. That's not right. That's
I'm not. Can I make a point, brother?
Am I wrong?
Bring this out.
Am I wrong?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 18, verse 23.
Right.
Yet, Lord, thou knowest all their counsel against me to slay me. Forgive not their iniquity.
What the Lord say?
Forgive not their iniquity.
What God say?
Forgive not their iniquity.
So God is not going to forgive the so-called white man for enslaving and murdering his people.
So God doesn't forgive
Read
you.
on. He doesn't forget a so-called white man. No.
That's false, bro.
Right, bring this out.
Neither blot out their
Right,
sin.
stop cooning, brother. Right, stop cooning out for the so-called white man. And take that nasty ass uncle off your neck, brother. Bring this out.
Neither blot out their sin.
Neither do what?
Neither blot out their sin
Neither blot out their sin. Read on.
from thy sight.
From thy what?
From thy
Right,
sight.
so the Lord is not going to blot out their sin, man. Right, so the Lord is going to deal with them. Read on.
But let them be overthrown before thee. Deal thus with them in deal thus with them in the time of thine anger.
Right, that's it on that.
It's the book of
Right?
Psalms.
And these, then we got to deal with these sisters right here.
It's the book of Psalms, the 55, verse 19.
Bring it
Right.
out.
It says, God shall hear and afflict them.
Right.
Even he that abideth of old, Selah, because they have no changes. Therefore they fear not God. So they have no changes.
Right.
No changes.
Right, so now let's deal with y'all sisters. Do y'all know y'all nationality? What did you learn from the brother? Right, because black is the color of your pants or your leggings. Right, so nobody's black on the earth. That's just the color of a crayon. According to the Bible, we are the Israelites, God's chosen people. This is what God called us in the Bible. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 1. Now, do y'all know how our people got to America? Did they teach you this in school? In Black History class? They don't teach y'all that no more? Civil rights. So they don't teach y'all about the ships, the slave ships? A little bit. So y'all know we were on ships, right? That's documented in the Bible. The Lord said that will happen to our people. So we know that we are the chosen people of the Lord because we fit that curse. We the only ones that can say, look, that happened to us. We went on slavery on slave ships. Bring this out, brother. 29 and 1. You got it.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
Who are we?
With the children of Israel.
So we are the children of Israel, God's chosen people. So y'all got to stop calling yourself black and African American. We are the children of Israel, right? And we got to come back to God and keep his commandments, right? Y'all know some commandments of the Lord, right? You got thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not bear false witness. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Thou shalt not covet. So these are all commandments in the Bible. All right, give me Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 3.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, in verse 3.
Pay attention to this. Bring this out.
Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing.
Read it in the mic.
Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing.
Right, so the Lord said, thou shalt not eat any abominable thing, which is unclean foods. Now, it's actually foods in the Bible that the Lord said we can't eat. For example, you got pork, you got crab, you got shrimp. The Lord said we can't eat those things. Do y'all eat those foods? You eat crab? What about pork? What about shrimp? Lobster? All right, give me that Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 9.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 9.
Now, before we read this, well, do y'all say y'all love God? All right, give me that 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. Right? Because the Lord said if you love me, you got to show that you love me. Right? Ain't that right, Talk It Up? Right? If you love the Lord, you got to show the Lord that you love him. You got to put forth that effort. You got to put forth that work. Right? 1 John chapter 5, verse 3.
The book of 1 John chapter 5 in verse 3. For this is the love of God.
Say, this is the love of God. Read on.
That we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
That we keep his commandments.
Read on.
And his commandments are not grievous.
Right, so that's how we know when we love God, when we keep God's commandments, when we do what God say. Right, like you show you love your parents by doing what they say. Right? They might tell you take out some trash. They might tell you wash some dishes. Right? And that shouldn't be grievous to you because the Lord said honor your father and your mother. Right, so if you love the Lord, keep his commandments. Now give me verse 9. This is a commandment of God. Bring this out.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
Right, so the Lord said you can eat it if it has fins and scales. So everything that come out of the water, out of the seas that have fins and scales, God said you can eat it. Right, you can eat white fish. Right, what else do you sisters eat?
Perch.
You can eat perch. You can eat salmon. Right, you can eat cod.
White snapper. Tilapia.
Right, tilapia, white snapper. Right, you can eat these different things. Right, and they all taste good, but it has to have both fins and scales. It can't have one without the other. You can't eat a catfish. Somebody look up a catfish. Let's get that nasty catfish that swim in muddy waters, that eat all kind of abominable things. Right, bring this up. Somebody look that up on their phone. All right, well, let's get you a flyer. Let's get the sisters a flyer and read on to that.
I got it right here.
All right. All right, take the QR code. So this is a nasty catfish. See that? Would y'all want to eat something that look like this? What about you, brother? You want this? All right, it's a nasty. That's right, brothers and sisters. That's right. All right, bring on, brother. No, you gotta kind of get on their level a little bit. Give me verse 9.
Verse 10 or 4?
Yeah.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 9.
Right.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
Read on.
Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and the rivers, them shall ye eat.
Read on.
And all that have not fins and scales,
All that have not fins and scales,
in the
crab, shrimp, lobster, calamari, iguana, oyster, clam, calamari. Right? All that have not fins and scales. Read on.
in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters,
Right.
and of any living thing which is in the waters,
Right.
they shall be an abomination unto you.
They shall be what?
They shall be an abomination unto you.
They should be an abomination to you. Right? An abomination is something that God hates. Give me that in Jeremiah 44:4. Right? So we out here for our people, man. Build them up. Right? They got to keep the dietary law. We give our people the basic things, man. We give them the milk of the scriptures. That's in Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 12. Right? 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. Sirach chapter 24 and verse 18. Bring this out.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 44, verse 4.
Right?
Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate.
Do what?
Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate.
Stop doing the things that the Lord hates, man. Stop committing abominations. Stop smoking weed. Stop eating pork. Right? Stop breaking the Sabbath day. Okay? Stop celebrating Christmas. That's right, man. Right, so with that, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Malak Yahweh Shai. We're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.